Hi, this is Justin Griffin, the founder of RigD. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to show you how to get started with RigD. First thing we need to do is go to cloud.rigd.io/signup. So you're going to get to a login page and you're going to have a few options. You can use Google account to sign up. You can use an Amazon account or a Facebook account. And there's always the traditional email and password. I'm going to go ahead and follow that route. Enter my email and provide a password and sign up. Now it's going to send you an email asking for with a verification code. So just check your email. Once you get that, just copy it in here. Once verification is complete, it'll send you to the sign in page as opposed to sign up page. Looks very similar. Just enter in the credentials that you just created. And you'll arrive at our home page here. You're going to first time you log in, you'll need to accept the terms and conditions. So choose accept. And then you get a list of tasks that we need to complete to get off and running with RigD. First thing is getting Slack. Now, if you already have Slack, you can just hit done here and move on to the next step. If you don't, we have a couple options. The first is to create a new Slack workspace. The other option is to join our RigD community. You can actually use the RigD app inside of that as well. So once you have your Slack account, we're going to need to deploy the RigD app. This is a pretty simple process. Just choose Add to Slack. It's going to open up another browser window. Now, if you have multiple workspaces, make sure you're actually deploying this in the correct workspace. In this case, we're going to use RigD Community. I'm going to choose Authorize. It's going to take a little bit of time to load. And when you're all done, if you go into your community, you should see an app named RigD. And in that app, you'll get a little welcome message here. As it mentions, if you want to get some information on how to use RigD, you can always hit help, and it'll give you some more details. Now let's finish up the process in the cloud though. So once you've got your RigD app deployed, in order to really use it, you need an AWS account. Now again, if you already have an account, you can just skip this step or hit done. If you need to create an account, we've provided a link here which brings you to the AWS portal to create an account. So we're going to go ahead and skip over that because we've already got one. And now that you have an account, you need to make sure that you actually have a user set up with the proper access for RigD. So there's two aspects to that. One is the user needs to have programmatic credentials. The second is it needs to have an IAM policy that actually allows it to interact properly with RigD. So again, if you don't understand the nuances of a AWS user, you can choose to look at the docs and read through them. We've also supplied the IAM policy that we use internally. It works today with all of the RigD functionality, but of course you should review that and use a policy that you're comfortable with or fits your security. I'm going to go ahead and show you quickly how you set up a user. We're going to go into AWS here and choose the IAM service. And we're going to go to users, add a user. We'll call this demo. Do programmatic access. On the permissions tab, we're going to say attach existing policies directly. Now we haven't created the policy yet, so instead we're just going to hit create policy here and go to JSON. Now if we flip back to our RigD tab and choose download IAM RigD policy, we can just simply copy and paste that into the actual IAM screen here. And we'll go ahead and hit review policy. Now we'll go ahead and give it a name and choose create policy. Now that our policy is created, let's switch back to the create user workflow. Go ahead and hit refresh, and then we'll search for RigD, and we'll see the policy we just created. So let's check that one. Go down to review. See, we're going to give it programmatic access with an access key, and we've got the RigD policy. So let's go ahead and create the user. And Now we have the two pieces of information that we need in order to create the account. So let's copy this access key, and we're going to go back to RigD here. We're done with this portion, so we're on to the final step here. So in this step, we're going to provide the tool name, a description if you want, and then the access key and secret. Let's call this demo, and we'll paste in the access key and put that in here. Now, we also need to provide a default region. This is where all of the resources that are created via RigD will be pulled or created in. So if you're not that familiar with AWS regions, I also recommend you kind of take a quick look at which ones are out there. We obviously are providing a list of those in the drop-down here. So if you're not that familiar and you want to just get going, simply pick one. We'll just choose US West 2. Go ahead and hit save. And you should see a message that says your AWS account has been added and is ready to use in Slack. Let's switch back into Slack here. And let's just run a command, list tools, and you'll see the account that you created there. Just to make sure that it's set up properly from a policy perspective, let's try list Lambda functions and see if anything comes back. Well, we didn't get an error message, but there were no functions. That does mean that our account was created properly. Thanks very much for watching.